Good morning everyone, how are we doing? For this episode of Daily Drills, we're going to be focusing on playing a spot that is kind of a little bit more niche, but it's a bit more common. I certainly think the higher stakes you play it becomes more common, but it's less common on like lower stakes. But it's more of a... it's definitely a spot that people do find a lot tougher to play against. And it is the free bet pot. In position, pre-flop caller. That is not a P. That is not. That's not an F. And it's when you face a check on the flop, and then you bet, and then you face a check raise. And then what the fuck do you do? That is the actual question. What do you do? And here in this video I kind of want to talk about like how you prepare for this. So one of the things you can do is you just like look at the spot and practice a spot like this in GTO Wizard drills, and then you develop a strategy to counter it. But so I wrote down the strategy. I have general heuristics. I would recommend playing versus check raise you drill, but then what you do is you just play only a calling strategy, which obviously does help the check raiser, but then you start to understand, once you only play a call strategy, when you have hands that like could jam, and you start to recognize those patterns of hands that can jam, you then explore the node a little bit, and like, okay, what about this hand jamming makes this hand good to jam? And yeah, so we're just going to play only call for now and try and learn that, but like our general heuristics, we're going to call with any pair to the board with a backdoor flush draw every time, any strong pocket pair, especially with a backdoor flush draw, any gut shot or better, especially with overcards. And then on lower boards we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to have like more of a, we're going to have like more good overcards with, or good ace highs in the range. Excuse me. So like good backdoor flush draws. So we get to this first spot. I did have, there is one thing here that I want to look at. I do have this mode where I do put in spots that are close. I just want this to be, this is just for practicing close spots, not simple spots. I want this to be difficult, but you can just turn this off and like just make it obvious. So you can just turn off hand modes or hand class. Anyway, we want it to be close. So this kind of spot, this is exactly the sort of spot where we're facing the check raise. We have the ace high with the backdoor flush draw and the overcard, and basically, do we call this hand? Is this really strong ace high? And no. Does it have a backdoor flush draw? Yes. Does it have a backdoor straight draw? Yeah, to the wheel straight. So yeah, I can see why this is close. But by our general heuristics, 2 overs with a backdoor flush. Yeah, let's call this. Do I actually think this is a call in theory? Might not be. Probably indifferent. But we're following our heuristics. It's a pure call. So follow the heuristics. That's the question. So here, overcard, 2 overs with a backdoor flush draw should be a very easy call. It's indifferent. That's fine though, because it's not like an ace high. It is this low dry board, and we're talking about these 10 high low dry boards. Especially, we're going to be calling continuing pure. That's our heuristic. We're going to continue king queen. So this low dry, we have 2 overs. We have a backdoor flush. We have a backdoor straight. We saw in the last one that this kind of hand type, exact kind of hand type with the backdoor flush, was indifferent on a similar board. But this one is way more connected with a backdoor flush, so I can't imagine us ever folding this, which we don't. And now here we have 2 overs. Now we do have the backdoor straight, we don't have the backdoor flush, so we fold. Follow the heuristics. So now we have this different type of texture. I mean, the last one was a bit different, but this is a free Broadway board, so very intuitive to phaser check rid of this texture. And we have a gut shot to the absolute nuts, but its overcard value has been completely disintegrated by the fact that his value range is like, a top pair is probably not going to beat his value range here. Let's put it that way. Maybe he'll sometimes have some random hand like Queen Jack, but yeah, so if we have a suited variety with backdoor flush draw, we're always going to call, but like looking at our heuristics, it says we always call gut shot plus, so we're going to follow that heuristic for now. I'm not sure if this is going to be correct, but I'm going to follow it. And yeah, there you go, correct. Now this is also interesting, and now we're on a 2 Broadway board, Queen Jack 6 with a flush draw. Now we have a gut shot, but it's not to the nuts, it doesn't have a backdoor flush draw. But our heuristics say we need to call, so we're going to call, but I think this might be wrong, and we're going to find out, and it is wrong. So we've already learned to add extra heuristics, so we'll add to the notes when we edit our heuristic. There's some old notes I have, we'll do something completely different. And then we need gutters to nuts. I guess that doesn't make much sense. I call them nut shots, but essentially we want to have a nut shot, I would imagine. But we could look at stuff like, is 9-8 of hearts a core here? And we could learn this way. Yeah, we could learn this way. We're looking at because 9-8 hearts at least has a backdoor flush draw. Yeah, and you can see that's more of a call. And it's okay, we need to have stronger gut shot. What the gut shots are, there's ace 10, even that's folding, and that has a nut shot, as they say. So is a nut shot that important? Maybe not. Overcards. You see the 2 overcards. Cool, even with. So I think it's so I think the thing that's missing here, from my perspective, is we want gut shot plus backdoor flush draw plus overcards basically in this sort of spot. So it's kind of a hard thing to work around, but gut shots. Backdoor flush draw plus overcards. On higher boards, I guess, for now. Because if we completely change this board to something different, I think you'd find 9-8 would call a bit more. Say Jack. Would it call a bit more on, let's say, Jack 6-5, where it's still a gut shot? That's a good question. Let's say Jack 6-5, and then the turn doesn't really matter. But yeah, now it's actually pure calling. So yeah, the higher card the value is, it makes more sense. So we're learning something. Next hand, we're looking at these higher cards, this gut shot heuristic is not really hung up. So now we have this low board, and a strong ace high is going to call here, and so are overs with backdoor flush draws. So I think a strong ace high like ace queen could sometimes call here. In theory, we're just going to go with the heuristic of just always calling this hand, because it is basically our strongest ace high in this spot. But we're just going on by that heuristic. However, this might, because it's 10-9-3 opposed to say 10-4-3 or something, I think this might be more of a fold, and you just call more more king queen, queen jack type hands that I call here, and suited ace queen. But we'll trust heuristics for now. But yeah, it's indifferent, which is, I guess, fair enough. If you folded, it wouldn't be a disaster in my opinion. Yeah, king queen. So we don't have the backdoor straight. Sorry, we don't have the backdoor flush. We do the backdoor flush straight. We do the two overs, but it's not like it doesn't have the backdoor flush, which is what our heuristics say we need, or it needs to be like a really good ace high. So we're just going to fold. I'll just show you guys basically the heuristic. I just snipped it, but like, go and just screen cap that if you like. But that's basically what we're working with. Just some notes. We're going to add another section here, updating it about what we do on like these more Broadway centric boards. But just if we just follow that, it's good. So this one we know is going to be a fold because it's not a super strong ace high, although it's reasonably good. It's a bit more connected, but it's not the backdoor flush. Yeah. So here we have the gut shot, not the backdoor flush, but we do have the gut shot with the overcard. So we're going to hope that what our improvement here says is going to be somewhat true in this board, because like we saw ace 10 would fold, but like the thing about this is it does have a strong gut shot with one overcard, but it doesn't have a backdoor flush. So, you know, what kind of logic are we going to? Are we going to go with the logic that like ace 10 of diamonds on the other board, on this board, like ace 10 of diamonds was a fold, or are we going to go with the logic of, well, we just have a gut shot plus an over, so we're always going to call? That's actually tricky because I'm not sure. So we're going to just go with the old heuristics now and see if it's wrong. I know it's basically indifferent. I don't think it makes a huge difference. Yeah, 10 high board, ace high. Again, our heuristics strong. This kind of board, a strong ace high with two good overcards and a backdoor flush draw to boot. We're not going to fold this. Sixes, so we're on a mono board. Maybe a check raise. Clearly, we're looking at actually something different. So we're looking for pairs with backdoor flush draws to the board, kind of thing. Or like in this case, it would just be a direct flush draw because it's a mono board, slightly different. So we're probably gonna like be devaluing things like flush draws are gonna and gut shots are gonna have like no value here. Pairs plus flush draws are gonna be more valued. I wonder though if you're going to call a hand like 7-8 suited on this board, because it's clearly a fold. This is like actually kind of an interesting sort of spot in my opinion. Because like you don't find too many check raise lines in this board spot, but like button is supposed to, these are all like obvious. Sevens is a set, eights with a heart, like it's quite obvious that like you probably wouldn't stab eights without. So like you see what you do see is like a 7 is still always going to call, and 5-4 is always going to call. So any pair to the board is still going to call on mono board, which okay, it's not like the most connected mono board of all time. For some reason, the solver's calling King 10 like a low frequency. It must be just some like niche reason where down the game tree we're going to have bluffs on specific runouts. Yeah, for the purpose of our heuristic, so we have top pair. I'm wondering if this is like a hand that like intuitively, like when I think about this hand instinctively, obviously we're calling with top pair. Is this a hand that would like ever want to start jamming? That's sort of my question. And a little bit of raise in theory, a little bit of fold even, because it's a little bit more connected. But yeah, the check raise range might be, it's going to be like a very dynamic texture. So yeah, we have the gut shot with these. So no, on these two Broadway connected boards, we saw that the gut shots needed to have, you know, strong overcards basically, which this one obviously has, and the backdoor flush draw is obviously going to be a call. Nothing else to really think about here. Even in theory, it's like fallen a little bit, but like 0.2% in EV, probably it's just touch that call it. As this is a more interesting one, so we have a pocket pair. Now it says here second pair pocket pairs for backdoor flush draw. This is a rainbow board, so this is kind of more close. I do think paired to the board are obviously stronger, because like when you're facing a value range, you like tens plus or jacks plus, you know, having like 8-7 is going to be better for a number of reasons. Against say pocket queens, you're going to have more equity. Pocket sevens, I think, is quite interesting because it's not really an overpair, but because it's a low board, it has like a backdoor straight, but not like a best backdoor straight, but a decent one. Because it's a low board, if this was a flush draw board, I think you just fold sevens. Without, I think here we're going to click. What does our heuristic say? Just second pair pocket pair with a backdoor flush. We're just going to go over the heuristics and fold. And intuitively I felt like it was a call, but we went with the heuristics and we folded. So again, the heuristics not covering like this pocket pair and rainbow region. I'm going to have to make a note about that, which we did off screen. Yeah, so now we're looking at this thing. Paired board's a little bit different. Very dry board, but like we don't have any backdoor flush. We do have 2 overcards. They don't have backdoor flushes, they have backdoor straights. We're folding. Seems to be clear to me. Ace-8. Again. So this is a 1 Broadway board, queen high. So again, we're going to be looking towards like backdoor straights, basically backdoor flushes. So like good ace highs here. Like they're probably ace jack halves is the bottom. So I'm just going to fold. It just makes sense. A little bit of calling. Surely ace jack of hearts is the bottom, right? Or is it just? Or is that just the bottom of the pure calls? Ace 10 as well. Ace 10 of clubs calling. This is where it gets really confusing to me. We're starting to see some jams here with certain hands. 9 of 5 of 3. So we saw ace-8 of hearts indifferent on the 1 Broadway board, and now we're facing this similar type of texture, except with a 9 high board. So we're going to be looking at, you know, we want 2 overcards with a backdoor flush draw, strong ace high. This actually does have an overcard. It does have a backdoor flush draw. It does have a backdoor straight draw around the wheel and around the 5. So I'm actually thinking this is a calling candidate, because like it's going to make straights on these 7-6 runouts and 4 deuce runouts. It is, whereas a 10 is not going to make as many straights, but it does have a stronger overcard. So I'm actually thinking this is a call. If we went purely by heuristics though, we'd probably fold this. And like, just to keep the game tree simple, I'm going to fold based on my heuristics. And look, I would have been totally correct. Always trust the heuristics. So even though I was wrong on that one, I was right on this one. I felt like I should call here. But like, our heuristics said don't call. But here, because I think people put too much value in the backdoor straights in certain spots, and this is a spot you don't want to value. You just fold this. You know, it's the overcard, no backdoor flush, not a strong ace high. Really the backdoor straight. King Jack. So the overcard on the paired board without the does have the back. It does have the backdoor straight and no backdoor flush. We're going to trust the heuristics and fold. I think it's possible in theory this was like low frequency call, but yeah. Yeah, I think 0.4% still counts. So now we have the 2 overcards, or 2 good overcards is what we're looking for with the backdoor flush draw. But do we want to call this one? It's not like a super strong overcard, like we do have the backdoor flush draw. I think I wouldn't count this as like good enough personally, but I can see it being viable. It's like here, strong side 2 good overs plus backdoor flush draw. I wouldn't say King 10 is like a good overcard, would you? Like, it doesn't really connect super well, so I'm going to fold. Indifferent, so it could have gone either way here. Ace Queen. I actually had this exact board in a 4-bet pot, and the guy floated the it was a 4-bet pot, and the guy bet 25%. The guy called the flop with like ace king, no backdoor flush, which I thought was a mental call, and it was obviously a blunder. But I just distinctively remember it because I also had ace king, and I was considering bluffing the river to fold him over the chop, but I just didn't put him on like too many ace king hands. Yeah, but this one's actually quite interesting because it's connected. It's unlike the other 10 high boards, it's actually more connected. So we're going to have like a lower threshold, I think, of like calling ace highs, strong ace highs. I think we're going to like start eliminating some of them, but like this one I just don't see us eliminating. And we will play, since we literally just had to spot it, we know it's a call, so it's the same board, same hand. Yeah. And this is the one Broadway board. We want the, so we do have the backdoor straight draw, we don't have a strong overcard. We do have an overcard though. We have the backdoor straight and the backdoor flush. I mean, intuitively, we believe this is going to be like probably a fold based on our heuristics. Yeah, I mean, different makes sense. Here we have the backdoor straight draw on the overcard, but we don't have the backdoor flush draw. It's not a strong enough overcard, so I'll just fold. And we'll do 5 more, so we have 30 hands. Jack 4-3, so we have this second pair, pocket pair, as part of our heuristics here. With a backdoor flush draw, this is a rainbow board, so it doesn't really matter as much. Pocket pairs just have way more value when there isn't a backdoor, when there isn't a flush draw on the board, because it's just going to run out less as a flush. So like, the more the board runs out with a flush, the more you want to have like that blocker when you have a pocket pair. So obviously a call here, pretty clear. 9-8. So again, no overcards, no backdoor. Not a strong backdoor flush, we just fold. And then ace-10, so we have a pair to the board here. Second pair, call with a backdoor flush draw, always going to call. It's quite interesting because this is more of a connected board around the 2 Broadway, Midland. If you're Jack 10-8, there's going to be straights here and sets and over pairs, but like pair. So maybe we're just going to be folding. So I think this is a board we'd fold ace-10 of clubs on. But like, yeah, we're surely folding ace-10 of clubs here. The mono board. So we have the gut shot. This is more of an interesting one to me because we were seeing like any pair to the board calling, but like an actual gut open ender, but not to the nuts, is actually quite a scary thing to face. I think. Although specifically on a mono board, if we just go by like heuristics purely, we would just call. I would actually think in reality versus the population, I would actually think folding would just be a better play. Because like the population will just like only check raise when they have a flush, or maybe like a 7-6 or 7s or 6s or whatever. Or like a pair plus a flush draw, they're not going to like do this with like aces without a spade. So, but like I think the heuristics obviously we call. But yeah, we're basically drawing dead there as you can see. But like, I think sort of check raising range here is going to be a little bit different to what we think it's going to be. Yeah, there's a little bit of jacks and queens without a spade. You know, these sort of hands just get in there. There's going to be like some 4x, some like trashy ace threes. There's going to be some 6x, some 7x, like very unintuitive spot to face a check raise. I think versus the pool, if you just folded, I think you do very well in that spot. Leverage. Second to last hand, we'll do one more. So this board overcard without a backdoor flush draw. So I think people would get like a bit obsessed with having blockers to a 10 here. I think actually this might be the sort of hand that like would mix sometimes with 3, but we're facing our heuristics. We want to have like the backdoor flush here, so we're just going to fold. But yeah, I mean it makes sense. And final one, you know, the 2 overs with the backdoor. Good ace high, with the backdoor flush, just a simple call. So now we can see how well the heuristics have done. They've done pretty well, but like there were 2 spots where they failed, which was here, so now we're going to add improvement to the heuristics by upgrading these spots and just talking about the boards. Yeah, just expand our knowledge. So we do heuristics, we practiced them. They held up pretty strongly for the most part, except in 2 spots where we need to update them. So thanks for watching this video. I hope everyone has a good day and a good life, I guess. Peace.